add some light and dark. We're gonna add some value to these stones so that they look more realistic. They're more three-dimensional. And what I'm gonna do, this is how I like to do this. There's a ton of ways of doing natural stone and doing highlights and shadows, but this is going to be my way that I kind of learned in college and just kind of stuck with me, and I like it. So I'm mixing together a little bit of white and yellow, and actually I'm just gonna add a little bit more white. Come on. There you go. I'm adding a little bit of yellow to this because typically, things are lit up by sunlight. The sun is yellow, therefore the sunlight is slightly yellow. And that's why we're adding some yellow. I'm going to thin down this paint just a little bit with some water I have in my little cup. You can probably see this in the top right corner of the video. Okay. And this is going to be a 2-brush method. This is how I like to work. I'm going to use one brush to apply, and then one brush, a flatter brush, something kind of soft to blend. That way it's not just a stark, harsh highlight. So I need water next to me so that I can get my brush slightly moist so I can blend out that highlight and make it look nice and soft. So I'll just start with this one right here. I'm going to keep all the highlights and everything consistent on the same side, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So I put a little highlight there, okay, and then just ever so slightly get my brush a little bit wet, and then not too wet though, and then I'm just going to kind of softly blend that out. So it's a nice little highlight just along one side. The same over here. Again, I'm going to keep my highlights and everything nice and consistent. So like the highlights are all on the left, and that way it makes it look like I just have one light source. I usually like to do this with a very soft chiseled brush, but I don't have one with me really. So I'll just use what I got. Okay, and you didn't see this, but I dipped my brush into water. I got rid of some extra water. I'm actually like brushing it even on my dirty little shirt over here, just so that I can softly blend this away. Now, if I had too much water, then I'll totally pick up, I'll totally like wipe away that highlight, and I don't want to do that. I've been working hard to make that highlight. I'm going to do the same thing on these ones. It's just the same method. I'm going to apply highlight along one side. I'm going to keep those highlights consistent, and I'm going to use my just the tips of my soft brush And this takes practice. Believe me, it takes practice. Okay, keep the highlights consistent. I'm going to do this to every single stone. Okay, I'm paying attention to how wet my brush is. I'm realizing it's drying out. Okay, it needed a little bit more water, but not too much. There you go. And I'm going to keep doing this until all the stones are done, and then we'll move on to the next video and see how to do the shadows.